Mike Jones here with Ken's. We've got a brand new show for you. You're going to love this. My brother and I on Ken's Stereo Junction, one in Macon and one in Warner Robins. And since 1978, we've been giving you the goodies. Audio, video, security, churches, you name it. If you can think it, if you can dream it, we can build it. Let's get inside and check it all out. All right, in our Macon and Warner Robins location, you know, I do these daily specials. We do a monthly special on our infomercial to show you inventory that's come in and package deals and all the stuff. We carry the best brands in the business. We carry JL Audio. We carry Rockford Fosgate. We carry Pioneer. We carry Alpine. We carry DS18. I mean, we really do make sure that we fine tune, if you will, our inventory to what your needs are. We have you bass heads out there that want the big boy bass, which we got plenty of vehicles doing that. A lot of folks said, I just want an even kill amount of sound. But no matter what car you have, I don't care what it is, well, maybe not a $250,000 Bentley. Let's say you don't have a $250,000 Bentley. For the rest of us, changing out the speakers is a beautiful thing. When you're capable and you can change out the head unit, that's a beautiful thing. Adding more power is a beautiful thing because all of us love music. Now, I'm going to give you a little demo. These are the Alpine Type Rs. We talked about them a couple of months ago, but I was trying to get them all back in stock. They come in all sizes. This particular one is what I'm highlighting this particular month. This is a two-way component, so a separate tweeter, a separate mid-bass, and the grill is optional, and then you can, it's got a separate crossover that protects these so you can play. Let me just turn this on for a demo real quick for you. I want you to hear the highs, really clean. I've got a sub playing now, which I can turn off, but listen how much bass this thing has with no subwoofer playing. Right, that's 100 watts going to them. So it kind of gives you an idea that these will perform without a sub, but when you add a subwoofer, it just gives you that bottom end bass. Isn't that beautiful? Now, to give you an idea just about packages, because a lot of people, they'll come in and they'll ask about the money side or performance side. We have bass packages from $4.99 and up. What that means, the package means it comes with a box, the subwoofer, all of the cables, and the installation. And if you want to go to some big, heavy hitting stuff, this new JL package is called the W3 package, and it quite literally comes with amplifier, crossover network, bass knob, 4-gauge power kit, and two 10 W3s with a slot vent box, and that's installed for $14.99. So $4.99 all the way up to wherever you can dream. $349 for the mids and highs that are separate, and then the component where the tweeter's built in is only $249. Again, when you buy these and they fit in a factory location of your car, you don't pay more than this. You buy this, and if you have to have an adapter, it's fine, but there's no labor attached, is what I'm saying. So when you come in, bring your music. This is my music playing, and that way you can kind of get it to suit to your needs. Come around here. Now, in the realm of radio, AM, FM radio, touchscreens, marine stuff, single DINs for you guys with the old school cars, we sell a ton of these floating screens because they will work all the way from a 85 Cutlass, all the way to modern cars, and they come in 7-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch, all the way up to an 11-inch. But this is $12.99. This is Alpine's $509, and I love this display. Just to give you an idea, this size screen, and let's say like a BMW or an Audi, is $3,900. So that kind of gives you an idea. It does backup camera. It has an amplifier built into it, has an EQ built into it, has Bluetooth built into it. It just has a lot of stuff already a part of that package. Backup cameras are $200 and up. If you add XM satellite radio, it's only $149. And all of it comes with what? Our installation that you don't pay a fee for. You get the good stuff at no extra charge. Now, the flip outs I told you were back in. The new Sony ES radios are back in. They're all full touchscreen with wireless CarPlay, which means you don't have to have a wire, even though it will allow you to charge your phone wherever you want to do that as well. I want you to be able to go into the Macon or the Warner Robins location, and if you need a head unit, us to have plenty of them in stock, which we do. If you're going to do speakers, which I recommend to everybody, unless your radio is broke, please do speakers first. It makes the biggest bang for your buck. If you have a good sounding factory radio that sounds good to you and you just want more bass, get a bass package. We do a ton of bass packages, and we do them both at our Macon and our Warner Robins location. We got 7 installers that kind of do that all day long, Monday through Saturday. So when you get into Macon and Warner Robins, bring your music, let them dial it all in. The price is right. There's no extra fee for labor, and we've been doing it since 1978. This is what we do. All right, we do city halls, we do board of commissioner areas like this, we do a lot of courtrooms and areas like this, but kind of come this way and get an idea. The blessing of this is when these guys are up here, they have to have a view to see. So you have a gigantic screen back there, and then you have a gigantic screen up here. The idea behind that is whatever these guys are putting up on the screen, the public can view here. We double stacked, look right here, double stacked Sony laser projectors, full HD, 6,000 lumens, so you can use it. Now, this gives us an unbelievable picture with the lights on. I'm gonna get one of the guys to dim the lights here in just a second to show you how bright it really can be. But the idea behind this is I have to be able to see zones and maps and lots of graphic details. All right, and I'll get Gene just to hit one of the switches. When you hit one of the switches, you'll see now you get an idea. These screens are reflective. What that means is they're not just white cloths on the wall. They actually have what they call an M1300 surface that reflects that image from the laser projector. Microphones, audio system, all in place, and everything controls from that desk right there, so they can throw images up on the walls. What does it take? Well, sometimes it takes anywhere from 8 to 14 hours. But the idea behind this is with the laser projectors, I'm pointing up there again, is they have no lamps and no filters, which means no service and maintenance over time. It saves them a ton of money on the 5, 10, 12 years it'll take for those things to have to be replaced. So this is it. This is the Board of Commissioners right there. They're actually fixing to have a meeting in here right now. But bada bing, bada bang, this is what we do. All right, in the realm of subwoofers. When I'm talking about subwoofers for your theater, for your surround sound, for music, there are two companies that I'm truly believer in, Klipsch subwoofers and SV Sound subwoofers. Now, this is the mammoth called the PB4000. It is a 153-pound subwoofer for your theater. I'm going to pull this off. Just give me a little bit of patience as I give you the specs on this. That is a 13.5-inch subwoofer, Kevlar coated, triple tune port with a built-in DSP crossover built into it. And check this out. When you sign on to your subwoofer, it will literally allow you to control everything about your sub from right here. Like quite literally, I can do the crossover network, the gain control. I can do everything sitting in my favorite chair to make sure it gets everything I want. Now, this has 4,000 watts max power with 1,200 watts RMS. It is the hardest hitting theater sub I have ever heard in my life. One of my great friends, Tony Purvis, lives down in Hoggsville, has 2 of these in his theater, and it will shake the window panes out of his house. It's unbelievable. But this is where it is. I do have this in our Macon location theater where you can come and demo this. It's hard to play it on there to you because you can't feel it, you can't understand it because it will literally wear this entire store out. So 153 pounds. Now you would say, how much? This is about a $2,300 sub. Don't go anywhere. Some people are like, that sounds like a great deal. It is an unbelievable deal for what you're getting, 153-pound subwoofer. My point being is they have subwoofers that are $300. They are a great company, them and Klipsch both. SV Sound and Klipsch have done such a great job. But the PB4000 sub, that mammoth right now, is on display in our theater. You got to come and lick it up. It is absolutely flawless. All right, we are in, they call these things, giant things, party buses, and they brought it to us and said, we need our party bus to be indestructibly loud, and we want to do lighting, which I'm sure you're seeing some of the reflection now. Let me just talk about sound first, because when you let the wizards in here, this way they do it. Starting here, that is a waterproof Bluetooth head unit. Why do we need a waterproof Bluetooth head unit? Because we're the first word in the bus, which is party, and we know it's going to end up getting soaked or something's going to happen, and those are indestructible. So that's our control head. Of course, from the phone, you're controlling everything. It'll do AM, FM, and Bluetooth. That's the easiest part of this. What you're going to see here are 6.5-inch Rockford Fosgate Pro Series. Now listen, let me tell you about these Rockford Fosgates. Those are the Power Series speakers, and there are 16 of these all the way down, 16. Now, I'm going to stop you right there. Look right here. Underneath, you see I got my cushions out because why? We have 4 12-inch Rockford P3 subs that are ventilated through here, so they actually breathe out through here, and they're kind of put throughout this thing all the way to the back. So 4 12s, 3,400 watts of power. So I'm going to give you a little sound demo real quick. I hope it'll come through the way it comes through as I feel it through my entire body and every bone that I have. Here we go. Here's a demo. Give me some juice here.
Blow a lot of money on diamonds, the main reason why I be shining. Ice on ice, lost a lot of money in the trap, then got it back off random. All money in the hood, in the dice game with they hit flow. Shoot some best song, blow a lot of money on rent. I ain't even seen my condo, it's been so long. Blow a lot of money on ops, I'm trying to put them in the front top. I'm trying to smoke, talk about money all the time.
Oh yeah, now, what you need to pause out first. I can't even think. Anyway, come back here, and here, look at check. Here's where the proof is in the pudding here. Look at this. This is how my boys do it. This is how they roll. look at this. Here's your amplifiers right here underneath. Everything's safe, secure. All the boxes are mounted to the vehicle. Flip over here. Here's the other bank of amplifiers, huge power. Now that is the sound side of this, okay? That's the sound side. What you got to remember also is we have lighting. And you see the lighting moving in here. But of course, we're at, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. I'm going to flip right now to the nighttime. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Now, you see what I'm talking about? That is absolutely spot on, mind-numbing how much light is in this. The idea behind this is this party bus will be able to take you wherever you want to go. I can't imagine this thing going down the highway, all that sound and all these lights moving around. I just want to be the first one in the bus. That's all I got to say. So what does it take to do this? Well, I'm going to back you up a little bit. It takes a lot of time to do this because you have to remove it. That's why we have the cushions out. We have to remove everything, strip everything. We got to put all of our new cables in here. We had to run lighting cables in here. All these LED lights are underneath these areas, and you're probably seeing cutaways of those too now. They literally are all the way up and down this, plus the strobes on the front and the back side. So, 10, 20, 30, even 40 hours of 3 men in here getting this thing ready to go. He's supposed to be coming to pick it up here very shortly. But the idea behind this is mind-numbing. And I tell you what, I love the word when you say, I need it to be indestructible, because when you get together, you get Rockford Fosgate, and you get those unbelievable technicians from Ken's, that's indestructible. This guy's going to be jamming. This is what we do. Mike Jones here with Ken's. It's tax season 2023, and we make your tax checks correct. Middle Georgia's only in-store service, plus the best brands in the business, and 10, 20, and 30% off, and free installation on all car stereo. Come see us at Ken's in Macon and Warner Robins. All right, in the world of flat panel TVs, it's just changed so fast. I was just talking to my film guy, David, about how it's changed so much over time. And every year I would say, there's no way it can get better than that. There's no way it can get better than that. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Brands like Sony and Samsung, they're going to make TVs anywhere from 32 all the way to 100 inch. The common sizes that we do are stuff like this right here, going to be anywhere from 55 to 75. So being in the 65 inch to 55 inch world is going to be nice. You're going to look for smart features, and you say, well, I don't need smart features. Well, maybe not, but smart features are in place. And if you have Wi-Fi, you need to use them, because stuff like this, like YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and Vudu and Amazon, all that stuff is available on these TVs when you have Wi-Fi. Now, it has multiple ports on it, and here's what you got to know. Even if you have an old school VCR, yes, there are some of us that have VCR, DVD players, Blu-ray, all those inputs are already built into the TVs, and it will literally take an old school technology and make it the best it can possibly be when you do it. Now, a lot of people will ask for a no glare type screen. Sony does the best job with that. They do a really, really good job with that. They're not having a lot of reflections come into it. But if you want to have absolutely no glare, that's going to be more like what they call a terrace TV or an outdoor TV. So the thing you need to know is they're all going to be super thin. They all can be hung on the wall. And guess what? I'm going to put my phone number right there. The reason I do that is I will come out, or I'll send one of our men and women out there, and they'll help you pick what you want, because it can be, I'm sure you're seeing a cutaway right now, it can be up over a fireplace. It can just be on your bedroom wall. But you always want to get, what fits the room, and I get that. But usually if you can get a little bit bigger than you think, you'll love it a lot longer. Most flat panels will go anywhere from 12 to 15 years when you buy a brand like Sony or Samsung. So it is a very, very important purchase. Now, pricing is simple. If you went to Sony.com, I'm the same price as them, but I have tech support, and that matters a lot when there's a problem. I'll give you a great example. I have a great friend of mine named Brian, who lives out in Lizella. Last Friday, his TV went down. Whatever happened, it just freaked thing with the storm or whatever went down. And he called me at 1 p.m. on Friday, and at 5 p.m. on Friday, he had a TV. Now, the blessing of that is, and he said it 100 times, and he goes, this is why I've always used y'all. I can call you and you make things happen, because he had family and friends coming over. It was just a really big weekend for them, and I was very grateful to do that. Now, he bought a Terrace, which has no glare and 4 times as bright. Now, you say, man, he's talking so fast. When you come into most stores, if you're wanting to do it yourself, they'll help you pick what size fits your fancy, right? That's what matters. If not, we'll come to you at no charge to help you pick what fits your fancy. Now, we have 4-month layaway. We have no interest financing for 6 months. We have a 12-month option, 24-month, and a no credit check financing. So when you deal with us, it is the beginning to the end. I used to say it all the time. It's literally, we are the one-stop shop for your audio in video needs. This is what we do. All right, now when we do big builds, and especially when it's a government or federal type building, you have to have clarity, because you have to see around the square. So this is the square, as you can see. We want to see from one red light to the next red light. And then you'll see this is our grid coming up. So when you get into the 20s and 30s of cameras, front door steps here, look at you can see the grain in the marble here, very, very, very nice. And the idea behind this is you have to have more than just seeing if it was a girl or a boy, or if it was black guy, black girl, white girl. You got to be able to see if he's wearing a Ken shirt, if he's wearing black shoes or black pants and those kind of things. And you have to have this level of clarity. And when you see this grid now, we're just kind of skating around here. The idea is that this records 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this building being over 150 years old, there's a lot that comes with that to be able to get cameras into place. So you have to be able to run all of these cables, most of it in conduit. The idea also is, look what I'm dealing with. This is an interior wall that's completely brick. I've also got 3 stories of a building here, and I have to be able to see not only my courtrooms, I got to be able to see my stairwells. Here's my courtroom, my stairwells. I got to see my hallways. Before we did these cameras, the cameras were all facing one another in the middle of the building. I'm sure you've seen a cutaway of that now. The issue with that was that they had glare. You couldn't see through the doors. There was so much glare. And now all of that glare is gone. Look at that. Every bit of that glare is gone. Everything that goes right here, and this is just wonderful. Now, you can choose to have these cameras with audio and video. We have no audio here, just video. But the idea is if I want to see anything I want to, here's my vending machines, bathroom, but still keeping my privacy there. There's my stairwells, and this right here you see in black and white because all the light, this is pitch black right now, all the lights are off, and it turns on a filter that shows them in black and white, and when they turn the lights on, it'll come right back up to full color. These will do 1, 5, and 8 megapixel full color, anywhere from 110 to 180 degree. We're putting in some 180 degree traffic cameras for them as well, which means it sees as far as you can see left to right, so they can keep up if there's an accident or anything like that. Even with this grid shrunk down right now, you can see our logo on our van right there very, very clearly. Super, super simple to do. And again, this has got a massive 24 terabyte hard drive, which means they'll have a month or a month and a half of backlog. Now, this monitor is in a separate office. There's another smaller monitor I'm sure you see now that's been where the security guards stay up front to be able to monitor the building. And the idea is you have many of these monitors as you choose. Sometimes people have 3 or 4 of these monitors. And the idea is they want to be able to see this grid. So whoever's at this desk can see this grid and see what's going on. All right, one more view. I want to show you this. Now this is the area. We got rid of all the glare in this door, but look at this clarity. That says don't be a duck, just like we've always had on our shirts right here. Look, you can see that it might be a girl or a boy, but he's got really, really long hair. I think it's a boy. And then all these my crews over here doing their thing. The blessing of this is, and you can go back to the regular grid whenever you're ready, is I will come and design this. This is a huge design because it's such a gigantic, when you're talking about a full-size courthouse, I will come out and design everything. There's no charge to you for the design. And once we come out and install it all, guess what? We get backed up by our on-site service. You get a 2-year warranty on-site, and we don't repair, we replace if you have a problem. Understanding how important HD security cameras are, and we only carry the very, very best. There's my name and phone number. You can call me. I can send out one of the Brainiacs, or myself will come out and design it all. And once it's all, here's the blessing. Once it's all in place, you're safe and secure. Plus with Ken's on-site service, best brands in the business. This is what we do. All right, absolutely positively, one of 1,300 special edition Harley Davidson, brand new, literally 600 miles on it. And he came in and said, do what you did the last time. We've done 2 bikes for this gentleman. He wanted all Rockford Fosgate, big power. What you didn't know maybe is that now Rockford makes a full meal deal with either 4, 6, or 8 mizzen highs. And are you ready for this? Subs that go in the back. Let's get to the front. Here's your front. These are 5 1/4 from the factory that we get adapted to a 6.5-inch 2-way. Again, completely marine weatherproof. Your rears, let's go here into your rear seat right here. Same thing. Then your 6x9s that go into the sides here. This bag is modified, but it comes with the template, and we modify it right here with our custom guys in here. Here's the cool part. 6x9 is what goes inside the bag. Neodymium tweeter, so it can take a beating, it can take heat, and it can take weather. And then this, check this out. This box, completely made, molded for the bag, has a 10-inch sub on this side and a 10-inch sub on the other side. So now you have 800 watts of 10-inch and another 400 watt running emitted highs. Now, if you have the front panels right here, you can actually have 8 speakers that would go there. Now, 1,200 watts of power, built-in crossover. Right now, you're seeing a cutaway of the fairing. This fairing holds one of them, and it actually comes with a mounting kit where we're not just stuffing it in the fairing. It actually has a mounting kit where the screws and everything will bolt to the factory Harley-Davidson bolt. The backpack over here holds the a subwoofer amplifier that actually is molded into this as well. Here's another blessing. If you need to ride this back without the bags or have it serviced, it comes with quick disconnects. You'll look right here on the side. These wires go into a harness that goes down into here. This is quick disconnect, so this entire bag can be removed as a factory bag would. And then when you want to put it back together, it just plugs in and everything turns back on. I'm gonna give you a little sound demo. This is a lot of work out. This is 14 hours work. Listen to the highs.
So clear and so
That is absolutely spot on.
I'm the keeper of nothing,
Good solid bass. You feel it in your heart.
but I know
The idea is you gotta be able to hear this thing riding
Concerning
down the road with a helmet on. If you're with me there, you're going 80 miles an hour
caught
down the
in a
highway.
ride,
Plenty of headroom.
blinded by hunger.
This is one of the die-hard Harley guys. You know, he doesn't just ride when the sun's shining, he rides when it's raining. So it has to be completely weatherproof as well. Amplifiers are marine grade, speakers are marine grade, everything's height tilt. And I love how all this one closes up literally exactly like stock. Harley Davidson, Rockford Fosgate, Ken's. This is what we do. All right, we do a lot of churches, all over this state, a little bit of Florida, a little bit of South Carolina, a little bit of North Carolina. And what we've learned over time, we started doing churches around 1998, 99 ballpark, and we went through all of our certification, all the programs it takes to do that. You know, but it's evolved so much over time. Gone are the days of just a couple of microphones, and a couple of speakers, because now we have an online audience that came on much stronger each. We went through what we went through for that 3 or 4 years, which was so hard for all of us in the church world. And now we have overflow to our fellowship halls and to our nurseries. And now we need security cameras in our church. And now we need digital mixers and iPad control. And that being said, that's what we do. My number comes up right here. Is I come out and design a system that fits your needs, your necessities, your needs, the luxuries of what that install looks like, and also the budget side of that. And then once we get all over those hurdles, our guys come in and install it professionally. And I say professionally because anybody can open up a box, and I get that, and I have nothing against do-it-yourselfers, nothing like that, but I'm letting you know all these men and women that work for me are tried and true, and they are totally invested. There is no one that works in this company that works part-time at all. Everybody's a full-time, feed your family employee. The reason that is they want to be able to serve you to the best. We have lead technicians, we have service managers, we have designers, we have all that stuff in place. I have my own carpenter that builds booths, sound booths and all that, and it's just kind of a cool thing. Now, I just did a church, I'm just going to throw some snapshots up to you called St. Paul's Episcopal in Macon. I have always wanted to work in this church. I know this church is easily 150 years old, and it was amazing. And right now, I'm sure I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. This was a beautiful, very traditional sanctuary, but it has this amazing stained glass windows from, again, 150 years ago, and we were in that attic to pull cables. It was unbelievable to get to move around. It was unbelievable, the craftsmanship to be able to build that. I can't imagine what that took to build. We put in, you're seeing a cutaway of the choir mics, which they hung down so beautifully. They actually blend with the wall. I'm sure you're seeing that right now. We did JBL Control Series speakers on the sides because we didn't want to mess up the front. Now, what's cool is the system they had in there, I hope you're seeing a cutaway of that right now. The original amplifier from probably in the late 60s or 70s was a Bogan amplifier that was right by the pastor, and he would just hit the power button to make the microphone turn on. And you've probably seen a cutaway of the speakers right now. They quite literally were realistic speakers that were about 10 watts. I can't even believe that it even survived at all. But the fact that we came in, we put in a digital amplifier. You're probably seeing a cutaway right now of one of my certified technicians training with the iPad. It has iPad control that allows you to adjust. That way you don't have to necessarily be by the stereo system. You can be anywhere in the congregation area to adjust and tune for your sound. So we did microphones, choir mics, but we still kept what? We still kept the actual holy ground, traditional side of this sanctuary without obstructing from anything. Everything just blended so very nice at St. Paul's Episcopal. The reason I say that to you is there is no church that's the same. They're all different. And that's what these guys and girls, when they come in, they know that they're going to be up against a challenge, because you're not going to go, oh, this is just like the last one he did. It's nothing like the last one you did when the church that you just did yesterday was built in 2009, and the ones you're doing tomorrow was built in 1874, right? So again, my phone number comes up because that's what I come to you. I went to St. Paul's. We designed this system. We waited for budget to kick in where they wanted to be, and now they have a full meal deal digital sound system without obstructing the church. And that is awesome. this is what we do. Hey, thank you so much for watching our show. I appreciate you taking the time to be a part of it. Since 1978, we've been doing what we do. Now, and I say that a lot, and I had somebody say one day, why do you keep talking about that? It's not that. I'm just really very, very grateful that we've had a job because of y'all since 1978. My dad and his brother pulled it all together to make it happen right here across the street at the Summit Center in Macon, and then my brother and I have now taken over the reins of that over the last years or so. And the reason I say that is that we're just really very grateful to have had a job because y'all have allowed us to have a job. We love to serve you and love to make your dreams come true for audio video needs. It's just really very, very fun. Social media right here, that's what we do, our social media. That is how you keep up with us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and we have daily specials and a lot that goes on there to kind of give you ideas. Matter of fact, I'm doing a theater right this second down in Perry, Georgia, and the gentleman said, hey, I was watching one of your shows from a couple of months back and I want that exact theater. So we're like building a theater. I have another gentleman in Byron that I'm doing a house for right now, and he said, I've always wanted to have a back patio sound system, and I saw one on your infomercial. So use those as utensils to kind of help you design what you want to do, right? I want to put this out there, say this. In the world of pricing, we're the pricing. We have the same pricing as the .com world, but we have in-store service. We have had free installation on car stereo since 1978. We've had in-store technicians since 1978. That means a lot to me to make sure you know that when you come in here, we don't take it for granted. We are not .com. We care exactly who you are, and we want that relationship to continue, which is why we've had generations of families that have bought from us because they know that we can be trusted with their hard-earned money. So I want to leave you with this. In 1 John 2:6, it says, if you abide in him, then you have to walk in the way that he walks, right? And if you abide in him, you have to walk in the way he walks. What that means is anybody can talk about being good or being Christian or being strong or being a good husband or being a good wife. Anybody can do that talk, but until you walk that walk, that's an example. It's an example of where your heart is. But like I tell everybody, that walk is where it's at. If you see me in my daily walk, you know that I love Jesus. If you see me on my daily walk with my family, you know I love my family, right? Because I'm not talking about it, I'm doing it. And I encourage you, because my Bible says, I encourage you that if you're going to abide in him, God, you got to walk a walk that he would walk, which is being right in the eyes of the Lord. Come see us at Ken's in Macon in Warner Robins. Sorry about that, sir. One moment, please. Hello, we are filming at this time. May I help you?
I don't know.
That's all right. What's up?
That one time.
I do. It's serious.
Somewhere in the Bible.
It's
it says-
somewhere towards the back. Okay. Except when you say Sony, it only says Sonny. Only Sonny. S-O-N-N-Y. She cannot say it. You got the whole wide angle thing on?
It's really wide.
Oh my gosh, I was making myself so freaking fat. Okay.
Gobble, gobble.
All right, Shuffle Chin, let's go.
What's up, brother? Brother, what up?
Oh my gosh, he's camera shy.
At the witness stand that allows this to move back and forth, right? Oh.
Yeah.
Look at this, how he uses his hammer. Look at the absolute finesse. See how good the area is, and you'll see when no, hold on a second. Yeah, it's still the switch is on to your right there. There you go. Thank you. All right, let's try it again. Turn it back on. Just turn it back on. Are you still filming the whole time?
Yeah.
All right, David, just cut all that out where Gene was trying to figure out how to use a light switch. All right, ready, set, go.
I know who you came here to see. If you a freak, then you come on with me. And I know what you came here to do.
Mike Jones here with Ken's, and if it's for your ride, we've got it in stock. Best brands in the business: Rockford Fosgate, Alpine, Soundcube, JL Audio, just to name a few, plus Middle Georgia's only on-site, in-store service since 1978. Come see us at Ken's in Macon and Warner Robins.